Okay, folks, welcome back to another fantastic edition of Opali Presents Know Your Pros. Today's guest, we have Herman Body of the Zero2Sixty Experience. They are mobile auto detailing from car washes to details, paint corrections, ceramic coatings, you name it. Herman's got it at his mobile detailing business. Herman, thank you so much for being a guest with us today, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, Henry. Thanks.
Herman, you're a dude that I wanted to talk to because, you seem like you've got such a killer reputation here in Ventura County. You do a lot of detailing for tons of great folks in the networking community that we're both a part of. But I wanted to ask you, like, what was the moment where you thought, man, I got to strike out and start my own thing? Why, from your experience, go into business for yourself? Give us that story.
Very briefly, I worked for another company right out of high school. And during that experience, it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. But as I got a little older, got married, started a family, I wanted to try something different. So I kind of branched out and did other areas of work. But my heart and my passion was always detailing. And so despite me going into other fields, retail and some other sales jobs, I continued to come back to detailing. And so finally, I made the decision. I said, okay, enough's enough. Let's just do this full time. If I'm going to do this, this is where I want to be. Let's do it right. So I looked up how to be properly insured and licensed and all of that, and jumped head first in 2018.
Very nice. So 5 years of business for yourself, man. I mean, that's really cool. So you're licensed and insured, which not a lot of businesses, I'll point out, have that verification on their company out there, right? Detailers can be a dime a dozen, but not many do it right the way that it's supposed to be done.
Right.
So I want to kind of blow off the second question, which is why this industry. I want to kind of get into, when somebody calls Herman, what is most often the thing that you're doing? I mean, like detailing is the obvious answer, but tell me about like some of the very specific details of that detail. Like, where do you really shine in that space?
Believe it or not, a lot of times it has nothing to do with the vehicle. A lot of times it's the relationship that I begin to build with the actual customer or client.
Uh-huh.
So um, having their concerns met and heard. There's certain things that everybody would like to have, some things they don't like to have. Taking that time to get to know those things and then apply it certainly helps a lot. And then again, just building that rapport. The system that I use helps with that as well. Keeping everybody notified and keeping that line of communication open really um, sets the standard a little bit different from others while building on that rapport.
Yeah, so I mean, like, the experience that people are going to get when they call Herman is not just like something where you pick a time via text message, the messages are green or something like that, and then they might show up or not at 11 o'clock or something like that. Herman's a guy who's going to get you, your confirmation, your estimate before you do work with the guy, and then he's going to let you know when you're going to show up or when he's going to be at your specific place of business, at your home. He's going to roll right up there. And that kind of rolls up into the next and final question, which is always like, why is it that somebody's got to call that detailing company at 0 to 60 rather than those next guys? We already talked about being licensed and insured and the rapport that you build with clients. But what do you think is the deeper difference between you and that next detailer there, Herman?
Well, for one, you're going to talk to me. And with that, you're going to get an experience that's going to be second to none because, again, listening to those cares, those concerns, um, I pride myself on making sure that there is that communication piece. So, from that estimate, as you mentioned, getting those text message reminders, getting that estimate ahead of time. But not only that, I stand behind my work. I've had a number of customers tell me to the effect of, I had a guy, but he made a mistake or I wasn't happy with a particular day and, he wouldn't answer the phone. He never came back and fixed it. He never listened to my concern. And that's the difference. If you're not happy with my service, not only will I answer the phone, but I'm going to come back and guarantee that it's done right to your satisfaction, or I'll give you your money back. My number one standard is to make sure that each and every person that comes and uses my service or chooses to use my service leaves satisfied. And so that's what sets me apart is that guarantee of service that I offer.
Right. Right. And I mean, to me, it's not even just like the fact that, you're honest, reliable, you've got this integrity that you're touting right here, but you're just a good, solid dude in general. I've met you a couple of times here, and my first impression with you is just very personable, very caring, customer oriented. I mean, that's what you want out of a detailing service, out of really any business that you might come across. So I dig that, man. You've been talking too about your new system that you've got in place, and I want our viewers to understand how they can book an appointment with Herman Body and the 0 to 60 experience. How can they get in touch with your business? Give the viewers a shakedown here, man.
Sure, yeah. So if somebody is interested, Instagram, Facebook, Yelp are good places um, to go and book a service. So on Instagram, for instance, you can go tap the link. It'll take you right to a home page where you can put in a little bit of information. It's all secure. You don't have to worry about that. Put in the data points that, for instance, your car, what you would like to have done, any additional services, and then the estimate is created. You'll know the total of what it is right at the end. You're able to leave a deposit at that time, and then allow yourself to book a time and date that works for you, all at the uh, all within a few clicks. I get notified if there's any questions. You feel free to call me, or I can call you to confirm that appointment or any questions you may have. But I try to make it as seamless and easy as possible for everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, that's perfect, man. We're going to put all of that info into the description of this video. We're going to tell you where to book Herman's services. We're going to put his website in there. That's at 0 to 60experience.com. The number 2, TWO, in the middle of that. You can also feel free to call the guy at 323-395-1134. That's the 0 to 60 Experience, Mr. Herman Body, the detail king. And what did we say before we started this, Herman? I think I had, what was the little tagline? I want to say that before we get out of here, man.
Speed and shine all the time.
Speed and shine all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Herman Body. Herman, thank you so much for being a guest here today, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now you're pros.